AfricaUSARadio.com, home of African gospel. Ekaya Beats.
Welcome back to Africa USA Radio, Drive Home Show with Reverend Q. Today we are having a special guest all the way from Cape Town, South Africa, but he's here with us in the United States right now. And his name is Luyanda Potwana. He's a well known in South Africa. He's an evangelist. He preaches the gospel, but he also has ministry, TV, also TV shows that he's doing, but also is have a ministry in South Africa and in the United Kingdom. First of all, welcome to America and welcome to Africa USA Radio. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, Reverend Joe. Thank you very much for welcoming me in Africa USA Radio. I'm excited to be here. Greetings to you and to your viewers and listeners worldwide. I am good. I'm still settling in America. But yeah, thanks to you, I had a great welcome. So thank you so much.
We are so happy to have you. We love you, my brother, and we're hoping God is gonna use you in the United States of America. Believe me, there's a lot of work to be done ministry-wise in this country.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, let's know you. I've already know you. We've been hanging out together.
Yeah.
I know you are from Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
I know you you resided in Cape Town and also in. Tell us what do you want us to know more about you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go step by step from your growing up, your TV or your TV time, your ministry, step by step. Just tell us more.
Yeah, I was born in a small village called Wesley in Pedi in the Eastern Cape, but I grew up in East London in Mdantsane. It is the second biggest township in South Africa after Soweto. So that's where I did my schooling. That's where I grew up. And then I went to stay in Port Elizabeth briefly. When I was a young adult, I used to work at a petrol station. I think I stayed there for 3 years. And I went to Joburg in 2005. And that's where the TV dream started. I stayed in Joburg for 16 years.
Wow.
Did my TV show there, which we're going to touch a little bit on. And then in 2021, I decided to change because I had been in Joburg for 16 years. So I thought it was time for a change. So I took my family. We went to live in Cape Town. That's where really I started to be active in the ministry. So yeah, I'm here now in the United States.
So you grew up, you went to school,
and
you pursued the dream of television, media and television.
Yeah.
And God opened the doors for you. You did a very famous, a very big show in South Africa. Tell us about that show.
Yeah. The show is called Nyan Nyan, which is a slang. It's a closer slang for truth. So basically, the show is about couples who want to confess secrets to each other. For example, if there's something that you want to confess to your wife, you come to a guy like me. You come to our show. So it started in 2013. I'd already been in Joburg for 7 years when the show started. It was tough. I was hustling. It was not easy in Joburg. So to cut the long story short, I went to an audition and one thing led to another. I got the show. We did it for 9 years. It was the biggest show in South Africa because it promoted truth and we were really uniting, broken families. And we were also helping people who were victims of abuse, any form of abuse. So we did it for 9 years. It's off season at the moment, but yeah, the show is still the biggest show in the country in reality space.
And then after the show, and you began your ministry.
Yeah.
Tell us before you started the ministry, your calling, your salvation. When were you saved? God saved you from what you were doing before that?
Yeah. So when I went to Joburg, maybe we need to start there. I was going to Joburg for something else. I never went to Joburg to stay. But that which I went to Joburg for failed. It did not succeed. We'll talk about it some other time. So I needed to replace that which failed in Joburg back in 2005 with something else. So that's how the TV dream was born.
Okay.
You know, but of course, as you know, it's not easy to see yourself on
easy.
TV. It requires a lot of work, a lot of hustling. So in the midst of that, you know, there were hardships that I had to go through. So much so that at some point I saw myself homeless in Joburg, you know, staying in people's houses without a job, sometimes on the streets, you know, and that's where I came across the church that I gave my life to Jesus in.
Oh.
Yeah. So I remember I was walking down the streets and these guys were standing outside. They were evangelizing. They invited me in for a prayer. So that's how everything started. It was back in 2006. So that's when I gave my life to Christ. It was 23rd of January. It was 5 o'clock. It was on Monday, I remember, in Alexandra, in Johannesburg.
Wow.
Yeah, the pastor then was Pastor Sipho Seiso. That's the man who really led me into accepting Christ as my personal Lord and Savior. So I was born again literally from 2006. And this is what a lot of people don't know, because a lot of people knew me when I started Nyan Nyan. You know, and I was taught a lot of things, you know, evangelism, for example, going door to door, you know, handing out pamphlets, inviting people to come to church. You know, that's literally what we did every Saturday, right from 2006, all the way. So I was born again from 2006. Of course, you know, the life of a man has its ups and downs. You know, so there will be mistakes along the way, but I'm glad that Christ called me back. You know, and then when he called me back, he said, I don't only want you back as my child, but I also want to use you now actively in the ministry. So that's how I started planting churches, as I am now an evangelist under a prophet Mkwanas in South Africa.
Wow.
Yes.
So how many churches you've planted so far and where?
Yeah, we started in Cape Town in 2023. We planted a church in Cape Town, Kwalanga. That is where we fellowship. And then I went to the UK. I remember now in October, I had people that I was praying for in the UK. I was praying for those people online until they decided that I should come over to the UK. So I went over to the UK. We planted a church there in the UK as well. And now I'm here in America with the hope that as God is willing, the same will happen here in America as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And your TV show was very successful.
Yeah.
You know, you seem like so humble. You don't talk about the success of the show. It's because my question is, it's because you were burning with the calling of God that you're not talking more about the success of the show.
Yeah. It was very successful, Rev. You could say that. Maybe it's humbleness in me. But let me tell you, for a good 6 years, I was the highest rated presenter in South Africa. Highest rated how? In terms of ratings. Yeah, the show was the biggest show in South Africa. It broke records on that time slot, 6 o'clock time slot, across all TV channels, not just at the SABC, but across all TV channels. In fact, it was we set the trend for all these reality shows that you see in South Africa of people confessing secrets to each other, or relationships, or lovers, or marriages. We set the trends. There was no show like that in South Africa before us. The only reality show about lovers in South Africa before us was All You Need Is Love, but it was different because All You Need Is Love literally was about people who want to tell each other that they love each other. But it was the first time that we had a show in South Africa where, you know, a person will have to come out clean and confess a secret, a very, very big secret that has potential to break off their marriage live on television. We were the first people to do that. The country was not ready. People were very skeptical that that kind of show would work in South Africa, but we did it. And now if you go to South Africa and watch South African television, there are Nyan Nyans all over the TV channels. So we were very successful. For a good 9 years, we held that title of being the biggest entertainment reality show in South Africa.
But as far as success is concerned, was it success for the rating? Was it also successful in mending the relationships when people were confessing all these major things?
Excellent question, Rev. That's what we pride ourselves as Nyan Nyan. We pride ourselves as not just being a TV show. Remember, on the show, the very last, or rather, the second last segment, we take these people to a professional. So we don't just call them and they confess secrets to each other, they fight, and then because we've gotten our content, we say bye-bye. After that, we take it upon ourselves as the show to take them to a professional, depending on the nature of the confession. And would even go as far as pay. If, for example, a lady, one of the problems that is causing division in their marriage is that she can't conceive, we would pay as the show to take them to a gynecologist. Wow. You know what I mean? So we take them to different kinds of professionals, and as a show, we pay. We have heard a lot of marriages. It's just that when we did the show, we didn't show, behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, or call the people back to give us update that since you went to Nyan Nyan, a year later, how is your relationship or your marriage now? But we have had a lot of messages from everyone that came to our, not everyone, but from most people that came to our show to say that thank you for the opportunity, thank you for the platform. Yes, it was not easy when we came, but because we came and you guys intervened, our marriage is better. We are now married. We now have kids. My husband does not beat me up anymore. So it's things like that. So those are the successes that made us proud as Nyan Nyan, as opposed to just grow in numbers in terms of ratings.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's a pretty successful.
It is.
Even if you help 2-3 families.
Yes, sir.
It's big.
Yes,
big
sir.
Because family, nuclear family it's a backbone of the nation.
Yeah.
So you are doing a great job.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Switching back to the ministry.
Yeah.
So now, what is your future? What do you think in your future? I know you got a calling of planting churches.
Yeah.
But you're an evangelist.
Yeah.
You go around and preach. But do you have any thing behind you in your spirit that you one day you're gonna full-time pastor a church?
Yeah. Absolutely. And the place for that is here.
Okay.
In America, because this is the greatest land on earth in terms of opportunities. This is where you can base and literally run churches all over the world while you are based here in America. So this is what I'm planning to do. But of course, we allow God to lead. He's the one who's going to lead. Like you said, I was in church with you yesterday. You said in his time, he will do it. So in his time, he will tell me when it's time for me to actually pastor a church. But now I'm just planting these churches, and God brings people that are going to run these churches. For example, in London, there's a deacon that we left. He's running the church there very successfully. Wow. Same applies with South Africa. But besides that, Rev, besides the ministry, there are a lot of things that are in the pipeline, and some of those things, if not most of those things, I'm going to be doing them with you.
Yeah. Yes. Like I don't know if we can take this gene out of the body.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because yes, we are planning. He's I'm kind of his mentor as far as the ministry is concerned, but he's kind of my mentor as far as this is concerned, as far as the TV, as far as the podcast, as far as all that, because he's well experienced on that part. So I'm so glad that we are having him. He's going to be part of Africa USA Radio. He's going to be helping. We're going to be doing a podcast together. We're still going to do a promo for it. But as well as stay tuned, because he's also going to be pushing a podcast or a show of himself, ministering, preaching, doing what God has called him to do. And like I say, Brother Potwana, we are grateful. We are grateful that God has made you land in this area. Right now, you are in Arkansas. Some of the people in the United States don't even know this place. But you came from South Africa and landed here, and we thank God that we think God is going to use you. And obviously, our church has already opened doors for you. They want you to come and minister. And I feel like you're not going to do one service. I feel like you're going to do another service, and then they will call you again. And in my missionary background, I'm thinking maybe we can also use you as maybe do a missionary conference, or do a revival conference down the road here in Arkansas and all over the place. But right now we are just here just to hear who is Evangelist Luyanda Potwana is, and we are so grateful that he was bold enough to tell us about his past and his present and his future. Anything else you want to tell us about you, Mr. Potwana?
Not really. For now, that will be all. other than to say that I'm humbled by the welcoming that you showed me, and what you touched on, that where we were yesterday at church, they are really gonna be using me to minister. It's not a small thing to come from South Africa, Reverend
Yes.
Chu, and see yourself standing in the pulpit in America ministering
Yes.
to American people. It's not a small
It's not
thing.
small.
Yeah. So I don't take that lightly. So thank you so much for the mentorship. I don't know, America, you're the one who's teaching me. I've been here before, but as a visitor. But now I'm here, hopefully to stay, and I'm counting on you. We have done a lot of things together. And thank you for this platform. And I need to say this. I know that we're running out of time, but this is a good platform. It's called Africa USA Radio. That name on its own speaks volumes, because you are uniting these two cultures together. You are saying that even though you are South Africa and you are America, but we can come together and exchange culture, exchange skill, exchange talent. And I know what you have done in terms of exposing, especially our gospel artists who are from South Africa here. You know, I know we've spoken a lot. I've seen a lot. I went through your page, which is all over Facebook, Instagram, you know, TikTok, Africa USA Radio, or Africa USA Unity Events. So I went through your profile and I see the work that you've done. So thank you so much. I'm so proud and blessed to be part of this platform, Africa USA, under your mentorship and leadership.
To God be the glory. We thank God for the platform. It's a Christmas season. Do you want to share just a 1 minute word of well wishing for Christmas and all that to our audience?
May you enjoy your Christmas holidays. Remember, Christmas, first and foremost, is about family. We can do everything in Christmas, but we need to spend time as family. This is the time where we are on holiday, most of us, and make sure that you see your loved ones, because it's very important. Every second that you spend with your family is very important, because there will be time where you won't be able to see your family. So mainly Christmas is about family, spending time as family, showing each other love. You know, you can show that love in a form of exchanging gifts or anything, but mainly spending time together, talking to each other. Put the phones on the side now, because these cell phones have made us very antisocial. You see people in a dinner table, there's food, they are supposed to talk, they are supposed to bond as a family, but they are busy on the phone. So this Christmas, just put the phone aside, put your iPad aside, your laptop, your computer, just spend time with your loved ones. Merry Christmas, and may God bless all of you.
Christ came because he loved us. He showed us love. So let's love one another. If you want to follow Brother Potwana, he's in all social media.
Yes, sir.
Especially those that are in the US. We want you to follow him. We want to support his ministry. You want to say all your social media handles?
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you so much, Rev Q. They are very easy. It's Luyanda Potwana. I have only one profile where I'm Evangelist Luyanda Potwana, but the rest of them is Luyanda Potwana. I just make it very simple for people to be able to see me on social media. So there are no underscores, anything like that. It's just Luyanda Potwana.
Luyanda Potwana Instagram, Luyanda Potwana
Facebook.
TikTok, Luyanda Potwana Facebook.
Yes.
And just follow him and just get to know him. Pastors in the US, he is here to serve us, to serve our church, to serve our people. So if you want him to come to your church, feel free to contact me. Feel free to inbox us. Feel free to text or SMS. Whatever you need to do, call me. I know a lot of pastors here in the US who will be willing to use him as God using him towards your ministry. So just keep in touch. Contact me. He's here with me. Even if he's gone somewhere else, I'll be in touch with him. We're probably going to be talking every day of the week. So just keep in touch with me. And then if you want to book him, if you want him to come to your church, I'll make that happen. And then I'll give you their contact. Then you can contact them and talk to them. So far, we thank you for listening. We thank you for watching. Remember, watch these shows at Africa USA Unity Events YouTube, or Africa USA Unity Events Radio and TV on Facebook, and also Don't forget to download your app at africausaradio.com, and then you can listen on. If you don't want to download or you can't download the app, you can also go just to a website, africausaradio.com, and then you can listen as you are browsing, checking us. We're also gonna do a little segment on our YouTube, on our website about him. We're gonna put a clip so that if you want to know more about him, we're gonna add him on our website. Pretty soon, I'm gonna talk to the website guys so that we can put a little bit of his profile, because we want to push him here in the United States, that God may use him for his glory, for his kingdom. Thank you. God bless you. Continue to listen to us, Africa USA Radio, 24 hours a day. We will be talking to you pretty soon. Have a Merry Christmas and a great New Year.